How yous all doing? It's the Natural here, and here's my face.
Fuck you!
Does he look like a bitch?
Welcome back to another video on the channel, and this, my friends, my good friends, is a brand new series that I have got, and I put a lot of time, a lot of dedication, a lot of effort into over the past couple of months, but I think you're really going to enjoy it. And what this is, as you have saw from the title of the video, it's called Fraud Billionaires. And what this series entails is this is a series where I talk about billionaire owners, billionaires across the world, scattered the world with all their money and all their glory, and see how corrupt they are and see how pathetic and low life they are in terms of actual billionaires and actual companies, the way they run, to be honest. So Amanda, can you please run the brand new intro?
If you look closely here, this is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
Amanda, what are you doing? Run the damn intro, girl. And this episode is all about Mike Ashley. And what Mike Ashley is, he's a Sports Direct owner who invests all his money and all his time, all his effort into Sports Direct. He is, I think, in terms of his net wealth, $3.8 billion. Oh yeah, that's a lot of money. I mean, he could literally buy all of this island where I live in with coconut trees, and I don't know what that is. Is that a koala bear or is that a bamboo stick? What the fuck? We're going to start off with the company that he cares so much about, his little baby Sports Direct. And Sports Direct is a company, Mike Ashley, that cares about more than his own wife.
Oh no, he didn't.
You see it in there? Because, anyway. Brand that became open to the world back in 2003. Right now, it's the biggest retail sports store in the world. You can go, you see it in all the high streets, you see it all over the world, you see it in the stock market. We all know where Sports Direct is, right? But the problem with Sports Direct is not in terms of the prices, not in terms of anything, it's down to the co-workers. The people that put their blood, sweat and tears on the line every single day, Monday to Sunday, from 9 to 5 or 9 to 6 or 1 to 6 or whatever fucking hours they get. That's the problem. Co-workers have been given had a hard time working under an owner that literally doesn't even give them the right times to work, the minimum wage to work, and especially have to get 0-hour contracts. And the most one is two, not just one, two women had to give birth in a Sports Direct store. I couldn't believe it when I read the damn article myself. I read it this morning and I still can't believe 2 women had to give birth to us in a Sports Direct store. How can you be that shallow of a man and you don't even let the women who's on the verge of labour go to a fucking hospital and literally give birth to the best thing that she's ever going to have in her life? And she lets just do it in a fucking warehouse. It's a fucking joke. And the way the co-workers get treated there is a joke. It's like, they said, it's like living in a Victorian warehouse, and it's a Victorian village or a Victorian warehouse. But they have to, because maybe they need income to help them in their tuition fees. We don't even get me started on that. And other things. So I can understand why people work at Sports Direct, because they got nowhere, they have to find money from somewhere, or they are on the street, and I feel sorry for them. Like I said, this is what this man really is. Now this man had to go into Sports Direct, literally, and see how bad it was, in terms of summed up an arrogant prick like him. He went in, yeah, like then stood around, oh, you know what, I take the photographers with me, make sure it's a good PR stunt for the team. And he gets to a sort of a security checking, and he has to put thousands of dollars of money on a little plastic tray, and the way the co-workers go into him is amazing.
A lot of cash there.
A lot of cash?
Yes, I've been to the casino.
And this sums up this man. He doesn't have no respect for anyone, that he can just put thousands of dollars just flying on that. Who gives a shit at the co-workers? Fuck them. This is my company, this is the way I run it. It's a joke. He had to have like court cases going to Sports Direct, which he was called a liar 3 times in both of those, by the way. And he's lost money and money and money, but it doesn't really matter. We get on to what company, what business that pumps so much money that's pretty much saving this motherfucker from being bankrupt. But for anyone who works at Sports Direct, you can do so much better than working for a shadow bastard like him. Now we move on to part 2, football clubs that he's owned and bought. And we're going to start off with the club that everybody knows really that he's bought is the club I support, Newcastle United. Now in 2007, Mike actually bought Newcastle United from probably the 2 greatest owners Newcastle have ever had in Freddie Shepherd and Sir John Hall. And he bought the club, didn't do due diligence, he didn't know what the club was worth, he didn't even know what he was getting. When he bought the club, he just thought he's like monopoly money, he just thought he bought a club just for the sake of buying it really. He just thought it was a business model, which again it is, but it's a football club, it's not a franchise, for God's sake. If you want to buy a franchise, go and purchase some money in the fucking NFL, mate. But he bought Newcastle United. Ever since Newcastle United were run by this man, the club has not broke his transfer record, obviously, until they smashed the money for Almiron, which, by the way, was installments from Barclays. So it was a show. He didn't really invest that money. He pretty much put loans in from Barclays. So again, he didn't break the transfer record. Barclays did.
Attackers incoming in 10 seconds.
Relegated twice under his ownership. They could be relegated again a 3rd time under his ownership, but it's a joke what he's done at Newcastle. He's used Newcastle United as an advertising benefit for his own gain. He's used it as money, more money and more money. He's changed the name of the stadium twice. Imagine changing the name of one of the most iconic stadiums in the world. Have you ever seen like the Bernabeu, the Camp Nou, Anfield, Old Trafford, Stamford Bridge? No, you don't. How can you do that to a club? That's like changing the name of, that's like changing your name to something that's not even irrelevant. It's pathetic and low-life, and he's just done it for money. You can just see everywhere you go at Newcastle, it's Sports Direct plastered everywhere. I think the club shop is actually a Sports Direct marketing tool as well. So it just sums up what he's used Newcastle for is money and more money and more money. He doesn't give a shit. Like I said, Newcastle United and the companies that he owns is fueling him from not being bankrupt. The other club he also purchased was Rangers, and it was just like the way he wanted, just like we did Newcastle, use Rangers as a marketing tool to make more money, blah blah blah. Rangers obviously saw that and just protest and protest and protest, and then obviously the final straw came when the fans stopped going to the games, stopped going, and he had to sell it because he was losing money from Rangers. And Rangers have had a hella problems on and off the field. They had to actually go down the league pyramid to get to where they were, obviously where they are now. And it's a shocking state. How owners can destroy football clubs. It's pathetic and it's nowhere near good enough. And how the EFL, the Scottish FA, the PFA, and and also the FA don't deal with this is a catastrophic joke. And now we move on to number 3. The last one I want to talk about Mike Ashley is his personal life. Now Mike Ashley has been married. He was married in 1998 he divorced in 2003. It's a surprise where he divorced a woman, then obviously he just bought a company. That's weird. That doesn't make any sense. He divorced a woman to marry Sports Direct and give her the wedding ring. Possibly. Mike Ashley's had 3 children with the woman that he used to be with back in before they divorced, obviously. And I don't really know what they're doing now. I mean, I feel sorry for them because they have a father who's a low-life son of a bitch who doesn't give a shit about anything bar money. And I bet you right now, I bet Mike Ashley would sell his own kids for money. For anything to do with money. Because he's that type of person. He would probably sell them on the fucking black market if he had the fucking chance.
What is that?
Mike Ashley calls himself the king of the high street. He's more like the death of the high street. Every single thing he touches turns to death. And yeah, that's pretty much it really, that's all I need to say on a low-life, fraud, useless billionaire who just goes and buys companies, and buys football clubs, and buys anything that he wants to get to literally destroy from the fabric within. I hate this guy. I hate people who do this to the most vulnerable, and it's sad and it's low life and it shouldn't be even thought about. And it's sad really to say, because there's so many great people who have been ruined by this man, ruined by many billionaires, and all they care about is the dollar signs that are not the people they're actually hurting. So that's all I've got to say, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget the last thing to do. If you see a person, a co-worker or an employee that work at Sports Direct, go up to them, say you're doing a fantastic job, you can do better, you can work for anyone in the world other than that fat fucking toad that I fucking physically want to fucking fist him in a fucking dead brick hole. Get your phone out, go to my channel and click the notification bell. I've got other new videos come up on the channel. I've got other new series I've got planned for the channel. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to what I've got coming up in the rest of 2019 and beyond. That's all I've got to say for this first episode, the first video of Fraud Billionaires. Have a great one. Enjoy yourselves. Please like, subscribe. The natural is out.